There are two woodpecker species that give people a ton of trouble. The Downy woodpecker and the hairy woodpecker. One looks like a miniature version of the other. But here's some tips to help you be able to identify the two from each other. Let's dive in. All right, so we have these two woodpeckers side by side. On the left, we have the Downy woodpecker, and on the right, we have the hairy woodpecker. As you can see, these birds are extremely similar, and honestly, I see even the most experienced birders sometimes struggle with differentiating the two from each other. Even myself, I have trouble, and sometimes I have to take a couple looks before I'm confident in making an identification. First, let's start with the bills. As you can see, the Downy woodpecker's bill is much smaller than the hairy woodpecker's. In fact, the Downy woodpecker's bill is not even as big as its head. On the other hand, hairy woodpeckers have gigantic bills compared to their heads and compared to the Downy woodpecker. So the bill on the hairy woodpecker is bigger than its head. Next, let's move on to the bill tuft, or the base of the bill. The Downy woodpecker has a conspicuous tuft, while the hairy woodpecker has an inconspicuous tuft. All right, and this is my favorite one that I don't think a lot of people know about. Most people just focus on the bill by itself, but you can also tell the birds apart by the tail feathers that are present. So the outside tail feathers are white on both birds, but the hairy woodpecker has plain white on the outside, while the Downy woodpecker actually has black barring on the outside of those tail feathers. So a lot of times when I'm looking at eye naturalists, some people say, I can't tell the two birds apart. I can't tell which is which, because they can't see the beak. But you can tell by the tail feathers, especially if the tail is barred or plain in the image. All right, another really good tip as well is the back of the head. So on the Downy woodpecker, they have a white eyebrow that goes all the way around the back, and that's continuous throughout. But the hairy woodpecker, who has the same white eyebrow that goes all the way to the back, is broken by a black bar down the middle. So that's another great tip if you're looking at the back side of the bird, which in a lot of cases you will be doing because these birds are scaling trunks and you can't always see them turn their head and show off that bill. All right, and then in flight, really the only thing that's gonna help you differentiate the two is that bill size. And honestly, that's going to be really difficult unless you get a photo. So wait for the bird to land and then differentiate the two. Also, just some side things too, both male woodpeckers have red on the back of their heads, so that's not going to help you differentiate them from each other. The males have red, the females do not, and that stays true for both species. Here's the call of the Downy woodpecker. And here's the call of the hairy woodpecker. Basically, the hairy woodpecker's call is louder. It's also more higher pitched than the Downy woodpeckers. And to learn this is just going to take practice. You're not going to have both of these birds calling at the same time to be able to say, oh, this one's louder than the other. It just takes time going out in the field, hearing the calls over and over and over again, and then being able to kind of get that sixth sense of which call is louder and higher pitched to differentiate it from a Downy and a hairy woodpecker. Both birds basically have the exact same ranges. It covers the entirety of the United States and Canada. But there is one slight difference. Hairy woodpeckers actually drop down into a sliver in Mexico, whereas Downy woodpeckers do not. So that's really the only difference. Range is not going to help you identify this species. However, habitat is probably one of the best ways to tell this species from the other, compared obviously to the physical traits that we already mentioned. So Downy woodpeckers can be found in almost all wooded areas. It really likes those deciduous woods as well as that riparian habitat along rivers. So that's an important factor to keep in mind if you're in that habitat, especially deciduous woods, and you see a woodpecker, most likely it's going to be a Downy. It's also found more often in small patches of trees rather than large forests. So this is the bird that's most likely going to be in your backyard if you're at a lower elevation. It also likes to forage at the base of trees and bushes rather than up top on the main trunk and the bigger branches. Next is the hairy woodpecker, and these are found more often in mature forests. Now, this is something that you can use to your advantage. For example, in the state of Utah and out west in general, most mature forests are going to be at higher elevations. There's not a lot of trees down low, especially in like that desert-y type habitat. So for me, I'm never expecting to see a hairy woodpecker down at lower elevations, but when I get up higher, I'm definitely looking for those hairy woodpeckers, and most often at higher elevations, I'm seeing hairy woodpeckers over Downy woodpeckers. The Downy woodpeckers tend to be a lot lower. This isn't foolproof, of course, you still want to double check, but it's a good trick to have, especially if you live out west. Hairy woodpeckers, obviously, like I mentioned before, differ in their foraging behaviors as well. They forage on thick trunks and thick branches rather at the base of trees like the downy woodpecker does. Each bird kind of has matching subspecies. At a minimum, these birds are very similar in their taxonomy. So the downy woodpecker has 3 subspecies, and these all differ in plumage. There's the eastern, which is very clean white and black. Then there's the interior west downy woodpecker, very similar to the eastern. And then the most different one is the Pacific. It kind of has a tan hue across the entirety of the bird, like it's tinted, like with coffee, like it's coffee stained. It has a nice brownish chocolate tint to it. The hairy woodpecker also copies the downy woodpecker subspecies. There's the eastern, there's the interior west, and then there's the Pacific, but also as the Arizona hairy woodpecker, and this is completely tinted. And then the Pacific is way darker than the Pacific downy woodpecker. So the tint on the hairy woodpecker is darker than the downy woodpecker. If you see a really tinted bird, that's another factor that you could bring into your identification process. Like I mentioned before, the main behavior differences in the birds is their foraging behavior. Downy woodpeckers forage in smaller bushes and smaller trees, and they tend to forest at the base of those trees and bushes as well, while the hairy woodpecker forages in mature forests on thick trunks and thick branches. Again, this is something that you'll want to double check. Just last week, I saw a downy woodpecker in a bigger tree, so this isn't foolproof either, but it should give you hints to making your final identification. These birds also visit feeders, so if you want to get them in your backyards, it's really important that you put up a suet feeder or black oil sunflower seed. My parents, for example, they don't live anywhere near the mountains or anything, so they have downy woodpeckers visiting the feeder in the winter specifically and eating black oil sunflower seed. They don't even have suet up, but they do have a downy woodpecker that visited almost the entire winter, which is really, really cool to see. All right, I think it's time for a quiz, so let's turn it over to the bright-eyed birding woodpecker real quick. Now you have the ID foundations to identify these 2 very similar woodpecker species. Let me know in the comments below what's a group of birds or 2 birds that are so similar they give you such difficulty in trying to ID the 2, and maybe I'll make a video about it. Make sure you check out Bright-Eyed Birding, where I take you on birding adventures once per week, and we kind of work out some of these ID issues right out in the field. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you all next time on Bright-Eyed Birding Learn.